So we're going to start with energy viewing, and we're going to start with David, and it's going to be really entertaining, I know. So thank you, David. If you'd like to start the ball rolling, that would be really good.
Hi, everybody. So I have been dowsing since year 2000. I got into it because I realized that I could see energy, but with my eyes closed. And having experimented with it a little bit, I'm sitting a crystal on the table in front of me, and I was viewing that, and my son walked in and started asking questions about the lines and aura that he could see as well, 7 years old. So we then treated it as a game, and we went out and looked at all sorts of things. Map dowsing was his real expertise. He could just take a plan of the Arundel cricket pitch, which we've got here, and he could drill it all in. And then I would take the Sussex Dowsers, because very soon after I realised I could see energy, I wanted to know what on earth was going on, so I joined the Sussex Dowsing Society. And when we were producing plans like this, we would take them along and show them or get them to dowse them. And all of these were confirmed. So this is back in 2002. But as you can see back then, these big lines, some of them about 30 yards wide, this one, probably about 15 yards wide, that one. Spirals, domes, I think spirals. He had a slightly different take on it, in as much as he could actually see with his eyes open as well, whereas I do a technique where I shut my eyes and look where I want to look, and if there's any vibrational variation in that area or energy disturbance, it appears on my mind's eye. But these were buildings that weren't there anymore. His version with eyes open, he could still see the trace of those as well. Sorry, I'm just going to do slideshow. That's better. And next one. So I've been recording these energy orders ever since. And I'm going to whiz through these because I've only got 15 minutes, I think. So you've got these slinky type configurations, big domes. They go from biggest one that I have seen comes up from the ditch in Avebury and encompasses the whole site. Often they're grey, and sometimes they look like a firewall. Then the spirals, anything from a couple of inches high. The biggest one I've seen was at Wilmington, and that comes out of that chalk platform, and it's about 70 feet high. These are kind of eyes on a stalk, and then you've got spirals. This one, I hope you can all see the cursor. Can you see the cursor? Thumbs up if you can, Sue. Sue Brown, put your thumb up if you can see the cursor. I'll take it that you
Yes,
can.
I can. Yes, I can.
Yeah, okay,
Yes.
thank you. Just thought I'd better check.
It did disappear. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a feature of Zoom. So again, spirals, columns, mushrooms, pyramids, more eyes, slinky type configurations, ripples on a pond, and this with a sort of roots across on a mushroom that was at Wollaston Hill near Brighton. That was huge. So you're getting all of these different variations. It's some more, so you got kind of a pipe cleaner, then you just got a solid line. You get plaited ones, you get banded with different flows of energy in different directions, multicolored and spiraling, ones that bounce along the ground. The spirals usually come from collisions of energy lines, so you get the hot spot. And then the traditional kind of serpent line is a line that actually moves around like a serpent. And the fastest one that I have seen, and someone who was dowsing with me was dowsing it as well. It was moving through about 15 feet in 5 minutes. So they can thrash around somewhat. Some of them are just stationary. Top picture is more to do with crop circle formation, where you get a clash of lines and then a spiral comes out and then the spiral clashes with the lines again. So you get more spirals. So it makes the whole energy very complicated. The pyramid within a pyramid within a pyramid. Math used to draw them in on a plan. I tend to see them just as a pyramid, but wherever we see those when we were doing house energy, that tended to be, a place where spirit would come through. Just some more recordings of oddities. We spent a couple of, or 3-4 years doing house energy. So I've got about 40 or 50 houses recorded with all their energy. And that's a whole talk all by itself. But coming back to energy viewing in itself, so when you shut your eyes and you look, so you let go of your eyes and you let the sensation of your eyes shift up into your forehead and you look out of there. So normally the background screen is a dark blue, and anything that you see on that is some kind of disturbance, because the dark blue or the indigo is harmony. It certainly is when you look inside of pampered racehorses and young dogs and cats that are just so healthy they're annoying. That's all that you would see. And if you were looking out into an open space, provided there's not an energy line or any other type of disturbance, all you would see is dark blue. But then other things get in all over the place. So this picture shows the side of an energy line. So if you've gone out into the field and you have dowsed and you have had a reaction from your rods to say that there's something there, if you stand back and shut your eyes and look out of your forehead, asking to see the energy disturbance in front of you, you may well see something like this. But the circles down on the rod and right is a cross section of the energy line. So although you just get one color from the side of the energy line, if you stand in it and look up it or down it and do the same thing, you ask to see the energy that is coming into you, you'll get a different picture. You get these, not always, but tubes within tubes, or a single tube, and they can be different colors. So that was a view. Sorry, I'll go back. That's a view in daylight with bright sunlight shining on it. If you look at the same thing in the dark, the daylight is not interacting with the energy line, so you get back to what I believe is original frequency. It's real color, because it's not got visible light playing with it. So the outside color would be its kind of true frequency. The inner cores will stay the same. Yes, is Helen here?
Maybe she hasn't been able to get into the.
Okay, so we'll have to come back to those, because Helen can also see the energy somewhat, and she saw some energies at Thornborough, and she wanted to say a few words about that, but maybe she will later. So Sue's a man who's with us here today. We've been meeting on Zoom for quite a while now, and we talked about energy viewing, and she had a go. Now, she may have been able to do something like it before, but using my technique, I think she got a really clear picture, which she's painted. I cheat, I do all mine on a computer, but this is so this is a column of energy, and it shows it's coming up, and then it drops into the center as a kind of continual flow. The background is fairly typical of an area with a lot of noise in it, but this reddish bit may well be another energy line that's coming through. So you don't always see that dark blue background. If there are other, I say sounds, back in the introduction one, that was from a long time ago, and I called them light lines. But I've since kind of moved on, because I don't think it can be light. When you go into cymatics, then the sound and the study of it, everything drops into place for me. But the real talk today is going to be about this field. So this is it's next to the Arundel cricket pitch, which is just off to the right hand side here, and it's about 300 yards wide by about 900 yards long. The area that I have working with. So it's my dog walk. So I tend to walk up. There's a track up the right hand side there, then across the top there's the old gallops, and you get to about there. Then there's a fence, and we walk back down there, and well, actually back across there. So that's a regular dog walk. So I have been checking these lines, and mapping them and revisiting them, and triple checking them for probably about a year now, because I like to be thorough. So all the pictures that I'm about to show you are from around this field. So it's in Arundel in West Sussex. It's just a field. It's hardly any different to any other field, apart from that it's Arundel, and that's the best place in the world. But it's just a field. So the first, as I come in, so down the bottom of the picture is the main track. And the first line that I would come across, or the first major line, I haven't even gone into the little ones on this field. So I'm giving you a kind of a false image here. So if I was energy viewing, I would hardly be able to see anything, although you can see a little bit with a bit of practice. This is an image put in on a daylight so that you kind of get a gist of where you are and what's happening. So the first one is a triple tube line, and of these colours. And the second one is a triple tube line of those colours. And the colours will vary. So that day they were these colours, another day they might be different colours. It all depends on which frequency is being sent down. The next line is a bigger line. This is a triple tube line. This is about 12 paces across, and it's one of a pair. So this one runs there, and the other one runs, I haven't drawn it in, but it's kind of right over there, and it runs down that way. That is about 60 paces, so probably about 50 yards away from its pair. And I know they're a pair because they move through 12 feet side to side in unison. So if I went there in the morning, disposition, and in the afternoon, this one might have moved out of this picture 12 feet away, but the other one would have moved in corresponding 12 feet to the right, and then it moved back again along with the other one. In between, we've got lines coming through. So the line I just showed you is back here, and there's another one that runs down there, but these kind of running through it. So the one with the blue end, the rest of the colours are a little bit funny. It would have normally have come up electric blue as well. But I consider that to be a magnetic line because it's just a single core, it's electric blue, and it's running north to south. So if I was to look at a magnet with energy viewing, I see the lines running around it, and they always go from North Pole to South Pole and in a continuous loop, and they always, to me, are electric blue in colour. Then we have a red and red energy lines. So you've got one tube and the second tube, but where the magnetic line clash with it, we've got a spiral. This is the second line of the pair. Same colours, same size, same width. I was checking it one day. I walked through the first one, totally ignored it, walked through this one, and it was a rainy evening. It was getting dark. I tuned into it, and for the first time in 6 months, it nearly flattened me. The energy of it was so intense, it made me dizzy, gave me palpitations, and I just had to step out of it really quickly. And when I did, all stopped. So they vary greatly in intensity. Now this one still has me a little bit baffled, because every time I view a line like this, it presents to me the image of a triangle. And other people that I have shown how to see these energy lines, they see the same thing. If someone had seen one, they would see the triangle. But I do believe that that triangle is actually, it's, if I start hiccuping, my internet connection has just been told is unstable. I apologize. But that line, I have had glimpses of actually 3 tubes interlinking, and they are blue within the blue, so they're very difficult to see in a high frequency, whereas the triangle bit in the middle is always much stronger. And I need to do a little bit more research on that one, and get more people to stand with me and see these lines, so that I can give you a definite on those. But that's what I believe is happening on that one. So yes, this is just another one. The next one coming round, there's my dog helping with this thing. Cross section of an edge line. And I really don't understand the point of giving lines names, because there must be at least 60 different names to lines, and unless you tell people what they are and what sort of construction they are, giving it the name of a butterfly line or a lizard line or a number 3 or whatever doesn't help. And unless you can actually describe the line, I personally don't think you should be naming them. So I would just describe it. I would call that a triple tube line, 3 feet in diameter. And I wouldn't necessarily go into the colours, because they can vary. This one, next one going round, totally different. Now this is, I believe, to be a water line. Now, even though when I come across it, I dowse, because I went round first and dowsed everything and just got points on my map. I doubt this, it's definitely there. But when I'm viewing, I'm actually viewing the inside of the water line. And that is not above the surface. That may be 30, 40, 50 feet below the surface. So I have realized that there is an energy line there because of some sort of disturbance on the surface. And I hope Hugh is going to enlighten us a little bit on that later. Yeah. So I find something, and then I ask to see the line, and I end up underground. And I know this because I've not only have I seen the water lines, I have seen the chambers sometimes where the water is dropping and kind of forms a chamber. A little picture of the inside of the chamber. And so this is when I'm in the line. This is more what it looks like. A kind of a sparkly, spiraling with lots of movement. And you almost feels like you're being sucked into it, and everything's spiraling around down the tube, but not the center. The center stays this kind of a dark color. So this is the next line going around, just a triple tube. Sorry, double. Here, a couple of lines come together. Again, quite different. This is really dark. Sometimes you cope the colours because they're not your normal vision. So we've just got a triple tube here, another one coming in, a double tube. So this is the next one in the line, a triple tube. As it goes across the field, if for some reason or other, it collides with one of the major pair. The first one on this side of the pair interacts with it and creates that anomaly. So this is my map with all the lines on it. And as you can see, this is just a field. And to me, this is fairly typical of any field. Any field I went into, I would probably find as much, if not more. So why across the country or world or to sacred sites to find energy lines, I'm not sure. This point here on this group of trees, you have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 energy lines intersecting. And because you get these clashing of energy lines, you get anomalies or pictograms, as some people might call them. But they vary because this line and this one, this is a kind of joint one. As it moves away, the pictogram or anomaly practically disappears. When it comes back into that position, they reappear. So nothing is really kind of fixed. Just because someone has found an energy line and you're teaching, don't expect it to be in exactly the same place the next day. Especially with the anomalies, don't expect to see the same ones the next day. They change, they move. And so this is the problem I have with the joined lines. So this is one of the pair, that's the other one of the pair. As I douse this one, I go through it, find that edge of the line, that edge, come out into the edge. So I know it, even with rods, I know that is 3 tubes. But as I come out of it, because this is blue within blue, for a long time I didn't get any, it just came back into neutral position for my rods. And I didn't find this little central core for a long time. I don't think that's even there a lot of the time. And I didn't really find anything until I got to there. But eventually, with enough practice and viewing and sitting down the end of the line, trying to see what was going on, sitting between those 2 lines, I got an image of it. And I kind of got, now understand why they move together. So anomalies. I think I might be running over time. Typical anomalies are just a ball, triangle, Merkaba, the eye, a diamond, or this is your normal kind of vortex shape. Should I keep going, or am I going to get told off for running over?
Are you nearly there?
Oh, yeah, nearly. Okay, so this is a different walk. This is a walk in the woods near to the south of Arundel. So at exactly the same point, an energy viewing perspective, I can see the trees I can see an energy line. This is one of the different type of water line. It presents itself completely differently. drops down a hole about here, gives me a vortex type energy, like to down the plug hole. When this energy line is hitting that position, we get this column. That energy moves up and down the hill, so if it's not there, we don't get the column. And when the rainwater runs away, we don't get this energy, this water line at all. And that's a bit what the water line looks like, because it's not deep, it's water running through stones, because there used to be a beach and there's flints under there. So it gives me this peculiar picture. Another day, really hot summer, trees have been so infrared all day. It's the trees then kick out this beautiful electric blue, and everything else just disappears because that takes over. Then we've got a little will-o'-the-wisp, one energy line is moving along. This one is stationary. Where this one collides with that one, this one's moving, and so this little probably about 8 inches high energy wisp kind of moves up the path in front of me, or you, if you're looking at it. So why I've decided that they're sound. So this is a modern version of cymatics, taking images of sound in liquid. And then this is the image of the vibration, or the about 7.5 hertz, which is the frequency of the Earth. And as I say, once I apply cymatics into what I'm seeing and the infrasound aspect, it all just makes perfect sense. So that's been my research up to date, or
David,
a small part of it.
David, that's absolutely fascinating. Thank you so much. It's so good to see what you've been seeing. And thank you very much for sharing it with us.